Good viewers all over the world are based on online. Today we're talking about the subject mathematics, and today I would like to talk about quadratic equation. Quadratic equation. I've taught us linear equation. I've taught us simultaneous equation. If this is your first time of watching my video, I have so many videos. You can check out my submissions on the linear equation, simultaneous equation. Then today, quadratic equation. In quadratic equation, we have powers, but the maximum power we have there is 2. For instance, if we have a squared plus, okay, a squared plus, let me use something that is familiar to everybody. I'll just use an example. Let's say I have 2s squared or 2s squared plus, or let's say minus 6y, um, 6y plus 4 is equal to 0. Yes, okay. Oh, sorry, 2y squared, 2y squared minus 6y plus 4 equals a hair. This is a quadratic expression. If you look at this, the maximum power you have here is what? 2. The power is reducing. This is power 2, reducing to power 1, and this one is power 0. Don't worry, in my next video, oh, no, not next video, very soon I will do topic on, sorry, this thing, differential calculus, where you'll be able to understand what I'm talking about by calling this one power 0. So you just differentiate, by the time you differentiate the constant, because this one does not have alphabet attached to it. When you have alphabets, when you have number standing on its own, when you differentiate that number will give you 0. But when you differentiate an alphabet without power, it will give you the constant, which is a number. If you differentiate higher power, but don't worry, let me talk about differential calculus yet. So you have 2y squared minus 6y plus 4 is equal to 0. There are different ways you could go about this, as in getting the values of y. Y will have two values. It's either you use factorizational method, or you use completing the square method, or you use incompleting the square method, or you use the quadratic equation that is popularly known as almighty formula. So today I want to talk about the factorizational method. Factorizational method. Very simple. Just follow it. Like I always tell people, when you know the principle of something, take it to anywhere all over the world, it will still remain the same thing. Principle does not change. How do I go about factorizational method in solving this quadratic expression? Very simple. Just follow my step. Step one is this: multiply the coefficient of x squared. Y squared. Coefficient multiply, multiply, multiply. That's rule one or step one. Rule one. Multiply the coefficient of power squared. In this one is y squared by what? The constant. By the constant. I've explained all this to us in my introduction to mathematics. A constant, coefficients, power, exponents. Just check my video, you're going to see everything there. So 2y squared. So then multiply the coefficient of y squared by the constant. The next thing is what? Find the possible, find the possible factors of your results. Find the possible factors of your results, as in what you have gotten from here. So the next thing, once you have been able to find the possible factors, from those factors now, think of any of the factors that you have gotten that when you multiply together will give me the product of this and this, and when added together will give me the coefficient of y. I'll call it rule 3. Out of the possible factors, out of the possible factors, comma, think of two numbers, think of two numbers, think of two numbers such that when such that when multiplied will give the product of the coefficient, the product of 1 above, and and when added when added we give the coefficient the coefficient of y the coefficient of y. You know what, you don't need all these stories in mathematics. Just know what you are doing, you are good to go. In all the stories I've written here now, see the way I'll just break it. This is the equation. The rule is multiply the coefficient of y squared. What is the coefficient of r squared? I've told us coefficient is a number that is standing beside an unknown. Here they have specified it as coefficient of y squared. Where is y squared in this equation? This is y squared. What is the number standing beside y squared? This is 2. So it means that 2 is the coefficient of what? Y squared. And the rule says that what? Multiply the coefficient of y squared by the constant. This is the constant. This is the coefficient of y squared. This is minus 6 is the coefficient of y. But we are dealing with what? The coefficient of y squared. So the rule says that what? Multiply the coefficient of y squared, which is 2, by the constant, which is plus 4. So it means 2 times 4. And what is 2 times 4? 8. So we have answered the first step. The second step says find the possible factors of your results. That's what are the possible factors of 8. When they say possible factor, it means that what are the two numbers that when you multiply it will give us 8. Then you now think that the first thing you must always think of is the number itself and 1. The number itself and 1. So from here now, I can say the possible value of 8 is what? 8 times 1. Because 8 times 1 will give me what? 8. After you have moved from that, that number divided by 2. The number here is 8. When you divide 8 by 2, it will give you 4. So it means that what you have used, I mean the divisor, by the product or by the result rather, is what is going to give you this next factor. How do I mean? It means that you have divided 8 by 2 to give you 4. It means 4 times what you have used to divide it, which is 8. So 4 times 2 is also a factor of 8. You now think, is there any other thing that I can use to divide 8? Okay, if I divide 8 by 3, oh, it's not possible. Okay, let me divide 8 by 4. 8 divided by 4 will give me 2. I will have 2 and 4. And I already have that. That is how to get the factors of a number. Start with the number. Divide the number by 2, divide it by 3, divide it by 4, divide it by 5. We always have two numbers as the factor. That is how to get the factor of a number. So now say now you have answered this one. The next one is out of the possible factors, think of two numbers such that when multiplied, we give the product of 1. We give you 8. And when added, we give you the coefficient of y. What's the coefficient of y? Minus 6. You now say out of these numbers now, 8 and 1, 4 and 2. Think of which one that when you multiply them together will give you 8. And when you add it together, will give you minus 6. Because the coefficient of y is what? Minus 6. Now I say, how do I get minus 6 from these two numbers? If I say 4 plus 2, I will have 6. 6 is not minus 6. If I say 4 times 2, it will give me 8. But if I say 4 plus 2, it will give me 6, not minus 6. You now go again. If I say, you now start introducing sign. If I say minus 4 times 2, that is minus 8. It means that I can't use this. That's okay. Let me put minus here. Okay, let me put minus here. Minus 4 times minus 2. Minus 4 times minus 2. Minus 4 times minus 2. So like I told us, if you are watching this video for the very first time, go and watch my video on introduction to mathematics. I explained how to multiply in mathematics. That's why I did the what that topic that yes that topic introduction to mathematics. It's not for fun. That maybe I already know mathematics. That is how people fail woefully in mathematics. If the foundation is faulty, I tell you, the building will collapse. Those say, ah, I'm also a guru in mathematics. Yes, fine, you're a guru in mathematics. There are some little information that are kept in that introduction to mathematics that will really help you to get better. So now, for me to multiply this now, minus 4 times minus 2. Like I said, sign will multiply sign, number will multiply number, alphabet will multiply alphabet, power will multiply power. So from here now, minus times minus is plus. 4 times 2 is 8. It has favored this. Now look at that. If I add these two together, minus 4 plus minus 2. This is minus 4 plus times minus 2 minus 4 minus 2. I'm owing 4 naira. I'm owing another 2 naira. How much am I owing? Minus 6. So it means that the factor I'm going to use will be what? Minus 4 and minus 2. Meaning that in this equation now, I think I can conveniently rub off this because I favored all the factors to derive at minus 4 and minus 2. So minus 4 and minus 2 are my numbers or the factors I'm going to use in this equation. So anywhere you find your minus 6y, it will now be what? Minus 4 and what? Minus 2. So let me follow with expression now. I can say 2y squared minus 2 or minus 4, anyhow you want it, minus 2y minus 4y, because this minus 2y minus 4y is now standing for this minus 6y plus 4 is equal to 0. So you now factorize. That is the main thing we are talking about, factorization method. Factorize means that divide into equal half. How do I divide this? You put a bracket here, 1, 2. You put another bracket here, because this sign minus is for this one, not for this one. So you put another bracket here, put another bracket here. So you now factorize. Factorize means that which number do you think can go in this 2? What do you think? So 2 can go, you put it outside. What can go again? Y can go. So that is 2y into bracket. So 2y squared divided by 2y. 2y squared divided by 2y. So 2 will cancel 2. Y will cancel y. We'll be left with what? Y minus, this is 2y. 2y divided by 2y. So we'll be left with what? 1. So this is 1. Then you come to this place. What is common in these 2? That is what? 4. But this sign will come out first. So we now have minus 4 into brackets. So it is minus 4 that can go in this 2, or 4 that can go in this 2, but this minus will have to come out first. So we now have minus 4y. I have minus 4y divided by minus 4. So minus will cancel minus, 4 will cancel 4. I will be left with what? Y. Then you go come to this one. This is plus 4 divided by minus 4. This cancel this. So I'll be left with what? Minus 1. So this is now y minus 1. Everything is equal to what? Is 0. Immediately you check these brackets and they are not the same. It means that your factorization is wrong. After you have done your factorization, this bracket must be the same because you are picking one out of the brackets. You are picking one out of the brackets. So the ones that we have outside will now have a bracket. You are picking one of these. This is 2y minus 4. You bracket it. Then you pick one out of the brackets. So minus y minus 1 is equal to 0. So you now equate each to 0. You now have 2y minus 4 is equal to 0, or y minus 1 is equal to 0. This is now a linear equation. You can now say that 2y is equal to 4. So this one comes to this side, is 0 plus 4. That's 2y is equal to 4. Or y is equal to 1. So from here you can say y is equal to 2 or y is equal to 1. So that's the answer. So just apply this principle to any quadratic equation. You are going to get your answer. I think that is clear enough. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe. I remain Sir Luma. Share to others. Please share. Let everybody watch. Thank you very much. God bless you.